So today we got comparison of the most painful ends. I'm like, let's make this a little bit interactive. So we're gonna go through this shit, yeah, and you let me know in the comments which one you think is the worst. Now, me personally, off the rip, I think the worst way to die is probably acid. Anything to do with acid, like bleach, all that shit, bro. Like, imagine it's burning your skin alive, bro. That shit is tough. But yeah, man, you let me know what you think is the worst way to die, and we go through these, man.
Timothy Treadwell watched his torn-off arm while the enraged grizzly sank its teeth into him. Screams of his girlfriend, Amy Huguenard, echoed in his head. Both became victims of a merciless predator, devouring them alive.
You know, a lot of girls in this situation would actually expect the nigga to do something as well. Like, they would actually expect the guy to do something. Bro, y'all both just run and see who survives, bro. There's no point fighting the bear.
Slow death is the scariest thing imaginable. But on the pain scale, crafted from scientific studies, being eaten alive only rates 100 points.
What?
Meanwhile, the most horrifying death is estimated at 140.
Damn.
Stick around until the end to find out what hits that maximum mark. But I warn you, viewer discretion is advised.
I'm telling you, acid.
On October 11th, 2012, workers at a seafood processing plant in Santa Fe Springs sounded the alarm. Their colleague, 62-year-old Jose Molina, had vanished suddenly. After nearly 90 minutes of searching, the boiler operator suggested opening the last loaded oven. Inside, they cooked and sterilized tuna at high temperatures. Workers had to wait half an hour for the oven to cool down. All this time, their only thought was, I hope Jose isn't in there. Unfortunately, he was indeed there.
Oh my days.
When the workers opened the door, they were horrified to find him inside. As it turned out, Molina was loading pallets of canned tuna into the oven when he noticed a malfunction. Without warning anyone, he stepped into the oven to adjust the chain and...
Bro, that he's so heroic for this, bro. Like, what? Why should you take your job this seriously, bro? You're just going on your dolly into an oven, bro. I don't get why people do that. I remember, like, there was a situation last year that there was a girl that got trapped in our oven in Walmart. Like, how do y'all niggas get locked in this shit, bro? If I see anything fire related, I'm not stepping. Why are you going in? Why do you want to be a hero, bro? You don't get paid enough to do this shit, bro. Damn. Like, I promise you, this is probably not even in his job requirement, and he's doing this shit, bro.
Side. Meanwhile, another worker, not seeing Jose in place, assumed he had already left. So he closed and turned on the oven. It was loaded with nearly 5,500 kilograms of canned tuna,
murder?
which began to cook at a temperature of 132 degrees Celsius. Trapped, Jose likely suffered severe skin burns, and then the high temperature began to affect his muscles and organs. Eventually, the poor man was boiled alive.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. Being grilled alive must be the worst. That actually might low-key be the worst, because that's a slow and painful death, bro. You don't have no access to water. Like, you can't even breathe because the heat would burn in your lungs. I'm like, that's gotta be the worst.
Looking at the pain scale, where, for example, 2 points are attributed to a gunshot to the head, and 91 to a shark bite, while dying from being literally boiled alive hits a staggering 105 points. And unfortunately, such incidents in production happen quite often. In 2009, Vincent Smith II worked at an illegal chocolate factory, Cocoa Service, in Camden, New Jersey. The 29-year-old worker was dumping giant chunks of chocolate over the edge of a vat, nearly 2.5 meters deep. There, chocolate was melted and mixed. Suddenly, Vincent was struck by a mixer paddle and fell right into the hot molten mass, reaching a temperature of 120 degrees Celsius. His colleagues immediately rushed to shut down the machine. However, Vincent stayed in the chocolate for a full 10 minutes before rescuers could pull him out. Even though his body was mangled by the giant mixer, Vincent died from burns. The tragedy occurred because the...
Wait, what? This nigga survived being blended. Oh, he tough.
The giant mixer, Vincent died from burns. The tragedy occurred because the platform he fell from was slippery from splattered chocolate and was directly above the vat without any barriers to protect workers from falling into the boiling mixture. Nevertheless, you don't have to be at a dangerous facility to experience excruciating pain, which on the scale goes even beyond 105 points.
How bad is the worst?
On November 23rd, 2018, a 911 dispatcher heard the shaky voice of a 76-year-old woman. It was Loretta Picard from Polk County, Florida.
I think my house is on fire, and I'm here alone, and I'm on a walker.
Firefighters were immediately dispatched to her house. The dispatcher told the woman to leave the building and go outside, to which she replied,
"Honey, yes, I wanted to."
That nervous laugh at the end just
Yo, I
breaks
shouldn't
your
be
heart.
laughing at that. That's
Loretta
sad.
had recently undergone surgery and couldn't move quickly without assistance.
Nah, that's sad, bro. She just accepted her fate, man. She just said, bro, nah, I'm cooked. I ain't gonna lie.
Plus, she couldn't
did
see
not even
anything
try,
through the
bro.
smoke. Meanwhile, the fire truck slowly made its way down the rough country road where the woman lived. Loretta was freaking out, worried that nobody would save her, constantly asking if help was really on the way and if they were sure they were coming for her.
Damn.
Then, on the recording, you could hear Loretta start coughing and wheezing, and the sound of the crackling fire in the background getting louder. But I can't show you what the recording captured next.
There's a
Because
recording.
then, the flames engulfed the woman, who never got the help she desperately needed. She
shit.
screamed wildly as she burned alive.
No.
The link to the full recording I'll leave in the description below.
How is there a recording of this? Like, where is the cameras? Nah, that's wild, bro. That is actually wild, man.
Loretta was dying while firefighters were just minutes away from her yard. The phone call cut out after 20 minutes,
Oh,
and
shit.
rescuers arrived at the scene 14 minutes later. Yet nobody ever went inside to save her. The fire chief claimed that several firefighters attempted to enter the house, but no evidence supports his words. And the dispatcher was blamed for giving ineffective instructions. Due to the negligence of rescuers,
Ineffective
Loretta
instructions.
died in agony because the pain from burning alive hits a staggering 108 points.
What? Is that not the same as being boiled? Or am I tweaking? I swear bro, how is being burned alive worse than being boiled? This is bullshit.
You wouldn't wish such a death on anyone. But you know what? I came across a story
A
where
nigga literally got toasted in a boiler, and you're telling me that being burnt alive is worse. How did they rank this shit?
person knowingly subjected themselves to such suffering. On June 11, 1963, several American correspondents, including Malcolm Brown, gathered outside the Cambodian embassy in Saigon. The day before, journalists were informed that something important would happen there. Buddhists were deeply offended by the disrespect of their beliefs by the South Vietnamese government. So, around 350 monks and nuns gathered for another peaceful protest. Suddenly, not far from the presidential palace, a car stopped and 3 monks got out, including Quang Duc. Malcolm pointed his camera at the trio, not realizing what he would witness through the lens next. Protesters gathered around Quang, who sat on a pillow in the traditional Buddhist meditative lotus pose, while another monk started pouring gasoline over his head.
Bro, don't tell me they did some dumb shit trying to prove a point that being a Buddhist, like your physical abilities is enhanced or some shit, bro. Don't give me that shit, bro. If these niggas tried to do some dumbass shit like that, I'm gonna crash out, man.
Quang paid no attention and prayed.
This
And when he
better be a
finished,
punishment.
he struck a match. The flames instantly engulfed him, rising up in black smoke. It was a horrifying spectacle. Quang Duc's body slowly withering and shriveling, while his head blackened and charred. I can't show you the photo either, but I'll
There's
leave a
a
link below
picture?
the video. The scene was very contrasting, as everyone present there loudly cried, watching the self-immolation, while the monk himself enduring painful suffering.
So nobody thinks to put the fire out with water. Like nobody I'm guessing there was a crowd, and you're telling me nobody clocked. Oh shit, let's put this nigga out with water. Nobody thought that. So you just watched him die. That's crazy, man. That's lame.
Didn't even flinch or make a sound. Whether it was meditation skills or inner spiritual strength that helped the monk endure the agony of his impending death.
This
I
nigga
know
just
for
killed
sure
himself.
an ordinary person wouldn't last like that, let alone endure the pain that hits 110 points. In 2007, a 33-year-old woman from Hong Kong named Cecilia Chung climbed to the top of Nyiragongo volcano, located in the Democratic
nah.
Republic of the Congo. It last erupted in 2002.
What? There's a volcano in Africa. What? Hold on.
Located in the Democratic Republic of the Congo.
What the
It last
heck?
erupted in 2002, flooding the highly populated city of Goma with lava, causing widespread destruction. Since then, the volcano had been relatively safe,
They
so
had
tourists
cameras
from
in
all over the
2002.
world flocked to see its famous lava lake. It looks like cracked earth in the desert, with hellish streaks of fire rising from it.
Oh,
Cecilia
nah.
climbed nearly 3,500 meters for this site. The woman was thrilled by the terrifying view of the lake and wanted to take a closer photo of it. To do this, she climbed over the edge of the crater, and suddenly, Cecilia slipped and fell down.
Bro, I promise you, you will never catch a black person doing this. You will never ever catch a black person doing this, bro. If they do, they're not black. Bro, volcano, after niggas is not even going within a 10 feet radius of that shit, bro. Niggas are over here climbing it. For what? What do you need to climb a volcano for? Why do you want to see the lava, bro? What's the point? You're just putting yourself at risk. Adrenaline junkies. Y'all niggas piss me off so much, bro. I get y'all niggas are trying to say, oh, live life, get life experiences. But this is so clapped, bro. That is so clapped. Imagine that shit erupted as well, man. But she's now gone and fallen into it.
However, she wants flying about 200 meters, she hit a protrusion right above the lava lake. Cecilia felt piercing pain because the impact broke several bones. She was thrown into the heat, and it was almost impossible to breathe because she was too close to the lava, the temperature of which could reach 950 degrees Celsius.
Oh, shit.
A helicopter, rescuers, and a volcanologist were sent to the scene. At first, Cecilia showed signs of life. However, the rescue operations were stopped due to poor visibility. As a result, without waiting for help, she fell into the volcanic lava lake. Eyewitnesses even hoped that the woman died instantly after the impact and fell into the lava.
They hope she died instantly. Wait, what?
As a result, without waiting for help, she fell into the volcanic lava lake. Eyewitnesses even hoped that the woman died instantly after the impact and fell into the lava without feeling any pain. The thing is that on the pain scale, it hits a whopping 110.
Nigga, shut up. There is nothing worse than dying in lava. I refuse to believe that. What is worse than that? It has to be acid. It has to be acid. If it's not acid, I'm gonna bug out.
Death in lava, although painful, is instantaneous. That's why many people consciously chose it to end their lives. In 1933, a schoolgirl named Kyoko Matsumoto climbed Mount Mihara, located on the Japanese island of Ito-Oshima, with a girl from her school. Kyoko was in love with her friend. However, in Japanese society at that time, same-sex relationships were condemned. And this oppressed Kyoko so much that she didn't want to live anymore.
Bro.
The schoolgirl threw herself into the volcano crater before her lover's eyes. The scariest thing in this story is that the girl became a role model for many Japanese people who wanted to end their lives. By 1935, almost 1,300 people had lost their lives by jumping into Mihara, until the Japanese government built barriers around the area. Still, as countless stories show, people often ignore such prohibitions. In 2000,
so she created a trend for people to jump into lava and delete themselves. That is crazy, bro. Wow.
2016, Colin Scott and his sister, Sable, went on a tour to Yellowstone National Park, known for its geothermal spots. They really look fascinating, but getting close to them is dangerous. The water here may not be as hot as lava in a volcano, but still, the 96 degrees reached by the local water bodies are enough to cause burns and even kill a person.
Is that a hot spring?
But Colin and Sable ignored numerous warning signs and crossed the restricted area. Suddenly, the guy slipped and fell into the hot water near the Pork Chop Geyser. Such a death is more painful than death in a volcano because, in a hot spring, it doesn't happen instantly, but slowly. Moreover, in almost all the park's water bodies, acid sulfate liquids are present to a greater or lesser extent. So when Scott's sister returned with a few rangers, only parts of her brother's head, torso, and arms were visible in the hot spring. By the next morning, Colin's body had completely dissolved.
Yo. This nigga's body disintegrated in the acid. Oh my god, bro. Whoa, bro.
It seems that there couldn't be worse pre-death suffering, but in fact, there could.
But I thought people go in hot springs and like for like a spa day. Like I know they do that a lot in Japan. I watch animes obviously, so like I know like they go into hot springs. So I thought like it's a safe place. But now that's just put me off hot springs, so I guess not doing that either, man.
Could be. Dissolving in a geyser is far from 140 points on the pain scale.
140?
On September 13th, 1987, in Goiânia, Brazil, the owner of a local landfill, Devair Ferreira, invited neighbors, relatives, and friends over to show them his interesting find. Devayer showed them a strange powder.
Is that ice?
It was sparkling so mesmerizingly that guests rubbed it on their skin like glitter and took it with them to give to someone else. Yet none of them had any idea what this powder really was. The thing is, the man brought scrap metal, and someone brought from a neglected hospital a metal capsule to his landfill.
Okay.
But those who did it didn't realize they had taken it from a radiotherapy machine.
Oh.
Devayer Ferreira ordered the capsule to be cut open, where he found the powder, which was actually radionuclide cesium-137. It is used in treatment to create a source of gamma radiation capable of affecting human cells. It's specifically directed at cancerous tumors. But if the radiation isn't controlled, it'll also affect healthy cells. Devayer, not realizing it, set off a deadly domino effect. So about 250 people came into contact with the powder. Maria Gabriela Ferreira, the wife of the landfill owner, began to suffer from hair loss and internal bleeding. One of Devayer's hired
did this nigga create cancer? What?
workers, Israel Bautista dos Santos, developed serious respiratory and lung complications. The other one, Admilson Alves de Souza, had his heart affected. However, the most affected was Devayer's 6-year-old niece, Leide das Neves Ferreira. She was placed in an isolated hospital room, but the staff was afraid to approach the child. The girl gradually developed swelling in the upper part of her body, hair loss, kidney and lung damage, and, just like Gabriela, she suffered from internal bleeding. On the pain scale, these feelings hit a whopping 125.
Bro, this shit is bullshit.
All the people who came into contact with the blue powder got various diseases, and this quartet later died. All the items touched by people who came into contact with the powder were buried in a repository.
I'm just deep in it, right? This guy that showed everybody the powder didn't die. So I'm like, he's a crook. He probably knew what it was. He just killed millions, like hundreds of people, bro. Just killed hundreds of people for what?
One of the city's mounds and marked for use only in 300 years. Such cases in ordinary life are pretty rare, but people who work directly with radioactive elements risk painfully dying literally every day.
He just deleted
On August 21st, 1945, less than 2 weeks after the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Harry Daghlian was working with the plutonium core at the Los Alamos test site in New Mexico. He used tungsten carbide bricks to create a barrier around it because the bricks reflected neutrons coming out of the radioactive plutonium back. But when he started laying bricks around the core, he suddenly dropped one of them right on him. At that moment, the brick caused an uncontrolled nuclear fission chain reaction. It covered the scientist with a deadly dose of radiation of 5.1 sieverts. After receiving a radiation burn, a person experiences countless excruciating sensations at once. The skin blisters and ulcers, after which the vessels in it burst, and the person
what the heck is that?
dies. In addition, due to the high dose of radiation, you feel how each of your organs slowly fails until you die. And that's exactly what happened on the 25th day of Harry Daghlian's suffering. The slow death from radiation and all the previous steps on the pain scale are united by the fact that these pains weren't inflicted intentionally on the victims. However, fortunately, you cannot accidentally expose yourself to suffering that is at the maximum mark of 140 points.
Bro, stop.
Even if you find yourself in the mouth of
this nigga is trying to tell me that he's trying to tell us, right, that there's something worse than being burnt alive by lava, being cooked in an oven, being exposed to radiation. He's trying to say there's something worse than that. I'm not buying it, man. I'm not buying it.
Of a volcano or in the heart of a nuclear reactor.
I'm not buying that shit.
So, the most painful sensation in the world is skinning.
What?
This refers to a specific torture. Before it, the skin was softened using sunburns or hot water. Then, the torturer made incisions starting from the least sensitive parts of the body.
Shit. Oh, shit. Yo, chat, let's keep it a buck. These medieval niggas were demented. They were demented. The type of punishments these guys came up with, man. Decapitation. Whatever this is. A whole bunch of shit. Tell me if I'm wrong, bro. For those who do history, bro, tell me if I'm wrong. Are these niggas demented or not?
And ending with the delicate skin of the face. The process was designed to keep the victims alive as long as possible.
Like, how do you clock to do this?
Eventually, death could occur from blood loss, shock, or infections. But such a method of punishment has existed for quite some time, since the times of the ancient Assyrians, and up to medieval Europe. Nowadays, they don't do it anymore. At least, it's definitely prohibited by law. Write in the comments what caused you the most pain, and subscribe to my channel if you have nerve.
Oh my god, bro. You're peeling someone's skin off and all that's left is the muscle. Yo, I won't lie, that's crazy, bro. I don't know. I actually don't know which one I would rather. I think, you know what, chat? You guys let me know which death you would rather. For me, I actually have no clue. Like, they're all bad. I think I prefer the lava because that'll be quick. I'll just keep it a buck. The lava will be quick. But you guys let me know what you think. And I'll catch you in a bit, man.